Hey there, it's Leah here, and I had some tips for you today about getting comfortable while pumping. Uh, I know there are a lot of reasons parents are pumping. It might be because you're back to work, or your baby's not feeding well from the breast, or keeping the milk supply up. You're trying to increase your milk supply. There's probably 100 reasons why somebody might be pumping, but being comfortable while you do it is a top priority. Just like if we're latching, we're making sure that you're comfortable. We want to make sure that while you're pumping, you're also comfortable throughout the duration of the pump session. So I have a couple of things that I think are really helpful when it comes to getting comfortable with pumping. So number one, top biggest priority is to make sure that your flange is fitting you properly. So the flange is this little horn looking piece that actually goes against your breast, and it's kind of like a shoe size. It has to fit right for you to be comfortable. And sometimes when you go and buy those really nice heels and you're in the store and you're like, oh my gosh, they fit me perfect, I could wear these all night. And then, 30 minutes into your fun night out and you are dying, have blisters on your feet. It can be the same thing with pump flanges. So you put it on, you're like, oh yeah, that's totally fine. I could do this all day long. And then 2 days later, you're like, oh, what is happening? Why does this hurt so bad? So being really picky about your flange size and making sure that your flange size is correct is super, super important. The biggest key to that is making sure that the flange is really only pulling the nipple into this tube portion here and not a whole lot of the areola tissue into that tube portion. Now, sometimes this can be tricky, and you might even have a different size between each side. Sometimes if you have really stretchy breast tissue, that can make some issues with fitting. So if you have questions about actually knowing if you have the right size or not, if you need help with that, we are certainly welcome to do what we call a flange fitting session, where we're just looking at, does that flange fit you? Can we get you in a more comfortable size? And know that the flange size could even change throughout your pumping journey. So a lot of times right after delivery, we might have some swelling in the area. Your nipples might be more pronounced and swollen right after delivery. And then over time, they get more, just kind of regulating to normal anatomy. They might get stretchier. So you can have changes over time that can really change that flange size. So if you suddenly begin to feel uncomfortable, this is another place to come back and just check and to make sure that your flange is fitting you comfortably throughout your whole pumping session. And you really want somebody to take a look at the flange fit while you're pumping and at different stages through the pumping session. Okay, so the second tip that I have for you is to think about how you're holding the flange against your body. So I see a lot of people who are pumping, they might be actually holding it against them, but when they do, they are pushing it really hard into the breast tissue, or even, angling it from one side to the other, so that when they take the flange off, they've got this really deep compression all the way around where the edge of this flange was pressing into the tissue. And this can not only be super uncomfortable, but actually inhibit the milk releasing fully from all those milk ducts, because if your breast is getting pressed in like this, we might be making it hard for the milk to flow through that area. So whether you're holding it to your breast with your hands, or you're using a pumping bra, you want to make sure that none of that is pressing really hard into your breast tissue. So you want to look at your breast after you're pumping, and if you're seeing a big ring around where you had a lot of pressure there, then you might want to take a look at how you're holding the pump flange or how tight your pump bra is. And that leads right into my third tip, which is actually using a hands-free pump bra. Whether you decide to purchase one, which there's just like a million billion options out there, that you can purchase one, or you can even make one. So I love this option of making one because you probably already have a comfortable kind of stretchy bra at home. And depending on the type of flange that you're using, my example here is a flange that actually detaches like this. All you need to do is cut a small slit inside your bra here, and then you just place that flange inside the bra, and this is on the outside of the bra, and you connect the rest of your pump parts on this side. And using a more stretchy bra that you know already fits you can be really helpful when you're in those early postpartum days. You're just at home, you can slip this on and off pretty easily. A lot of parents really appreciate some of the features of a purchased hands-free pump bra, like the fact that you don't have to take it over your head. A lot of them you can just put on, or they're just part of the bra that you're already wearing. So they're just a separate panel that you can pull down. So there's a lot of different options there, and I'll do another video on some of the pump bra options that are out there so that you can kind of see what all is out there in the world. But I do really think having some kind of way to be hands-free helps with the comfort, because obviously if you're holding the whole time, you're going to feel strain in your arms and everything. But also, if you want to get your breast fully drained, which you do if you want to make a lot of milk, then we need to use our hands while we're pumping to massage and compress and ensure that the breast is fully drained. So having a hands-free bra allows you to really do all that massage and compression of the breast tissue while you're pumping. That's really hard to manage if you're trying to hold the flange with your hand against your breast. So this is kind of a quick, easy way to get a bit more comfortable. So stay tuned for more tips. And thanks so much for watching the video today.